For 80 years, governments told us there was nothing to see. No craft, no contact, no secrets. But on the 8th of May, 2026, that story began to crack open. The United States Department of Defense released what they called never-before-seen files on UFOs. 160 declassified documents, photographs, videos, military records, and astronaut transcripts, all of it, suddenly, public. The question is not what they revealed, it's what they're still not saying. They named it Pursue, the Presidential Unsealing and Reporting System for UAP Encounters, a government website built specifically to drip-feed you the truth. The first release included reports, photographs, videos, witness accounts, military records, astronaut transcripts, and historical materials dating all the way back to 1944. 80 years of files, and they're releasing them, slowly, in tranches, piece by piece. You have to ask yourself, why slowly? What, exactly, are they preparing us for? Hidden inside the files was something extraordinary. A CIA internal document, a confession, buried on page 86. The CIA's own internal history admits that secret U-2 and Oxcart spy plane flights caused more than half of all UFO reports in the late 1950s and 1960s, and that Project Blue Book gave the public false explanations to protect the program. They lied, deliberately, systematically, for decades. And if they lied about that, what else have they been lying about? The files go further, much further. During the Apollo 12 mission, the second crewed moon landing, astronaut Alan Bean reported to Mission Control seeing flashes of light, sailing off in space, escaping the moon. They really haul out of here, he said, and just press off at the stars. 3 years later, Apollo 17. 2 astronauts, witnesses to something so extraordinary, one of them said, "It's like the 4th of July out there." These were not frightened civilians. These were NASA's finest, trained observers, and they saw something. Then came the third release, June the 12th, 2026. A report signed by Dr. John Kozlowski, director of the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, described an orange Mother Orb, seen launching smaller red orbs. 40% of all reported phenomena lack any reasonable explanation and remain completely unresolved. The Pentagon's own archive documents 209 sightings of green orbs, disks, and fireballs, all reported close to military facilities. These are not weather balloons. These are not swamp gas. These are their words, not ours. But perhaps the most unsettling account came from Fort Carson, Colorado. 5 soldiers watching a white object hover near Cheyenne Mountain in perfect daylight. They described it as potato-shaped, with distinct edges, made up of what they could only describe as articulating fish scales or panels. The object cloaked in the space of time it took to turn a head. There was no shadow. They all simultaneously looked away, momentarily. When they looked back, the object had vanished. 5 witnesses, broad daylight, and something that simply ceased to exist. This is where it stops being fascinating and starts being frightening. Experts now believe that China and Russia may have retrieved their own objects and may have tried to reverse engineer them. The national security implications are described as extreme. The same week, the Pentagon dropped its third batch of UAP files. The White House quietly created the UAP Science Advisory Council, a council for science, for UAPs, announced quietly in the same week as the files. They know something. They have known for a very long time. Officials have described this as the beginning of a rolling disclosure process, with additional materials to be posted as they are reviewed and declassified. Reviewed, declassified. Words that mean someone decides what you see and when you see it. 80 years of secrecy, and now a drip, a carefully controlled drip. One thing is certain, whatever is in those files, whatever they have seen, catalogued, recovered, and buried, the truth is not coming all at once. It never does, because some truths, they believe, we are not yet ready to handle. If this video opened your eyes, you need to stay close, because this story is only just beginning. New files are being released right now, and we'll be here, breaking them down every step of the way. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss what they don't want you to know.